There's no questions for me. I'd like to bring up new business, if I may, George. So I had a discussion with the township manager tonight, and I sent a message out to the board about the coronavirus. I talked to emergency management coordinator also, and we're going to come up with a preliminary level 1 precaution within the township. It's going to limit the use of our township building. And we're going to hand this over to my manager, and he will discuss it in further detail.
Good evening. So actually, while we were in the meeting, it was reported that the Delaware County Emergency Services are recommending that all municipalities do a declaration of disaster emergency. So declaration of disaster emergency, I'm going to read the declaration here tonight and do a little explanation. So I'd ask the board to consider a motion to accept the declaration of disaster emergency, whereas on or about March 12, 2020, the disaster has caused or threatens to cause injury, damage, and suffering to the persons and property of Upper Chichester Township, and whereas the disaster COVID-19 has endangered the health, safety, and welfare of a substantial number of persons residing in Upper Chichester Township and threatens to create problems greater in scope that the township may be able to resolve, and whereas emergency management measures are required to reduce the severity of this disaster to protect the health, safety, and welfare of affected residents of the township. Now, therefore, we, the undersigned Board of Commissioners of Upper Chichester Township, pursuant to the provisions of Section 7501 of the Pennsylvania Emergency Management Services Code, 35 PA CS Section 7501, as amended, do hereby declare the existence of a disaster emergency in Upper Chichester Township. Further, we direct the Township Emergency Management Coordinator the activities of the emergency response to take all appropriate action needed to alleviate the efforts of this disaster, to aid in the restoration of all essential public services, and to take any other emergency response action deemed necessary to respond to this emergency. Still further, we authorize township officials to act as necessary to meet the current exigencies of the emergency, namely by the employment of temporary workers, by the rental of equipment, by the purchase of supplies and materials, and by entering into such contracts and agreements for the performance of public work as may be required to meet the emergency, all without regard to those time-consuming procedures and formalities normally prescribed by the law, mandatory constitutional requirements, etc.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it. Motion is carried.
So I know the language is very strong in there, and obviously that you know, at this point there has been no reported cases of COVID-19 in Upper Chichester Township. However, by doing this, if there is potential of something that happens, we could possibly get reimbursed by FEMA for expenses that we have, and it also allows us to be very proactive and quick in our reactions, as opposed to sometimes, as you see tonight, where we have to wait a month until we can take an action. What I'm suggesting to the board is at this point we enter into what I'm calling a level 1 response. The level 1 response, the way it would affect employees, or restrict all non-employees from work areas, cease all handshaking immediately, recommend practicing good hygiene habits, canceling all attendance at non-essential meetings, continue to encourage the ongoing use of cleaning products in the work areas, encourage all employees who are sick or have a member in their household who is sick to utilize the township's sick time policy and stay home, allow all employees who are infected by COVID-19 or who are under a mandatory quarantine to take time off with pay, limit group interactions of employees whenever possible. Commissioner Rakowski had mentioned with the EMS and the fire, this is very important that we're not sending these people into group situations and that we're monitoring that. It's also very important with our sanitation workers and with our police department. God forbid we run into a situation where mass quantities of our employees are quarantined at one time, it would affect responses, so that's something we're going to work on. For meetings in public spaces, cancel any non-essential meetings until April 1st, 2020. Cancel all open gym sessions until April 1st, 2020. Restrict any public use of the community service building and Fury Road building until April 1st, 2020. And recommend the governor's guidance to limit activities in the township to under 250 people. That would include CDL's opening day, restricting events like that. And at this time, the expected effect on township services is only recreation and building services are affected at this time. Everything else will be business as usual. We will monitor the situation and we will adapt depending on how we go.
So you need a motion for that, to adopt that level 1 response, or can we just
Wouldn't hurt.
implement it?
It wouldn't hurt.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it, the motion is carried.
And just so everyone knows that a lot of the municipalities are actually doing the same thing tonight and have done this last night. It's a precautionary method to make sure that we have things in place just in case.